Food Wednesday.
Food
And
Wednesday.
maybe a pasta dish that someone might be inspired to prep tonight after they see your TikTok here, because it's one of the simplest pasta dishes ever, right?
You probably have everything at home right now to make this, but this won't stay. You got to make it and eat it. You can't prep this for later. This is one pasta that won't warm up good the next day.
This is big, though, because I feel like all of your FL1 foods are a little bit more advanced for the average cook. So maybe this one is the first step into, like, I can do that. I have to only have 4 ingredients. I can do that.
Yeah. Now I did make a little fried zucchini on the side just to go with it, but
You had to get
the
a little
pasta
fancy.
itself is fried zucchini's not really fancy, but I thought that with this was dinner on Sunday night. Actually, I didn't want to spend a lot of time making it, so even with the zucchini, the whole thing took 20 minutes, half hour at the most, and
It does not heat up well the next day, so that's why
the
we
pasta
don't have
doesn't.
it.
Right? Yeah.
Again, another day. You didn't bring us in food. But
Well, wait a second, though. It shouldn't last more than 20 or 30 minutes after you get done making it, because when you see how this turns out, you're going to say, well, why would you save that? You would just inhale the entire thing and be done with it.
let's roll
I
the
did.
tapes.
Cacio y Pepe literally means cheese and pepper. One of the most underrated of all pasta dishes and real easy to prepare. Just 4 ingredients, takes about 15-20 minutes. And to go with this rich, creamy, peppery dish, I figured some fried zucchini would be a nice contrast. This time of year at the grocery store, you're not going to get very big zucchini, certainly not the giant ones that they grow in backyards here in the summer in upstate New York. So I decided instead of going with medallions, we cut them into planks or sticks, cut them pretty thick, season both sides, and then we get ready to heat up some olive oil. And I got a little dredging station here, zucchini into the flour, back into the egg wash, and then breadcrumbs. I don't want a really super thick or even full coating on these things. I just want a little bit of a crunch, and I really want that fresh zucchini taste to come through, because I think it'll be a really nice contrast against the richness of the sauce. So into the fryer they go. Don't want to overcrowd your fryer, and as long as they're not touching, it's not going to be overcrowded. And they're going to go for about 2 minutes on each side. And look at that, when you flip them over, that's just perfect, golden brown, not burned. Nice and crunchy when you bite into it. And so just about 2 minutes on the other side, and then we take them out onto a paper towel. And while they're still hot, I like to hit it with some Parmesan cheese, also some salt, and then I'll put those into the oven just to stay warm, so we can get to work on our pasta and our sauce. So grating some pecorino romano, and you can use a really fine grater, not even a microplane if you have it. The finer the better. And we're going to toast some fresh ground pepper, because that pan right there is heated up to about medium high, and then we're going to just hit it with a tiny bit of olive oil and kind of mix the pepper in with the olive oil, and then I reduce the heat at this point and throw in some unsalted butter. We want to cook this sauce over a low to medium heat, so I know that butter's sizzling there, but it's going to cool down pretty quickly. Boil some water for the pasta. The pasta water is going to play a big role in this sauce as well. And we start to prepare our spaghetti, which takes about 10 minutes, and that's about how long it'll take for us to get our sauce ready for it. Spaghetti is the preferred pasta for Cacio y Pepe, and then we slowly start to work in some of that fresh grated pecorino romano. Just keep stirring and add a little more. This rubber spoon is perfect for this application, because you kind of want to start to press it across the bottom of this pan to make sure that none of that cheese sticks. And then we add a little pasta water every so often too. And eventually it's going to develop into this beautiful creamy cheese sauce with a strong pepper flavor. But you got to keep stirring. It's almost like risotto. More pasta water, and then a little bit of cheese at a time. And you don't want a really old, really good Pecorino Romano cheese for this, because that's harder to incorporate in the sauce. Newer, less aged Pecorino Romano will melt much easier than one that's old, even though generally the older the better when it comes to Pecorino Romano. So you can see this really coming together now. It almost looks like an Alfredo sauce, but it's not. There's no milk in there. There's no cream. And then just before our pasta reaches al dente, we want to drop it in with the sauce, because it's going to continue to cook for a couple more minutes in the saucepan. And then we also need to work it around like this, because the starch from the pasta is really going to be the finishing touch for what's really looking like it's going to be a delicious sauce here. So a little more fresh ground pepper. Work that pasta around, and then add a little more pasta water, and then we're just about ready to plate. And you can see it's really cheesy, but not super thick. It's more creamy than cheesy. You want to eat this right away. This isn't the type of dish that will even warm up well the next day, like a lot of pastas. And then we add our zucchini, which came out great. A little more of that fresh grated cheese over the top of everything. Oh man, I gotta tell you, this did come out good. Some more fresh ground pepper. A little bit of basil on top just for some color. Finish it with some olive oil. Cacio e Pepe. 20 minutes. Unbelievable. Most underrated of all pastas.
All right, Jim, that looked outstanding. If you were going to do it again, anything you'd change?
No, it came out really good, and it was cool too, because I'm glad I cut the zucchini like that. The zucchini that from Wegmans that was available was small. You know, used to, especially around here in the summer, everybody growing zucchini in their garden, and they're huge. But these were so small that I decided to, go lengthwise and make these little planks instead of medallions. And I'm glad I did, because it was really easy to eat. You'd take your fork and it would just snap right off. Yeah. Take a bite, crunchy. And I didn't want I didn't want to have like this thick breading where it was more breading than zucchini. I wanted the zucchini to kind of stand out, because it was with this creamy, cheesy, peppery pasta, so I wanted that clean zucchini taste to kind of... I'm big on trying to put things together that are contrasting.
You look like a DJ right now. You're just doing it.
How could you make it spicier?
You could throw in some crushed red pepper.
Yeah, I was gonna say red pepper flakes.
In fact, we did. It wouldn't damage the final product. It would still. I would wait to the end. But you could throw it in earlier too. And actually, Cacio de Pepe, that's black pepper, but crushed red pepper is pepper too, so it could still be Cacio de Pepe, I guess. I mean, it's just another crushed red pepper. But it was just savory, really savory. I can't explain how good it was. I've never made it before this.
Wow.
And it came out so good that I'm looking forward to making it again. I think another thing that I did that really helped it was toasting the freshly ground black pepper before put the butter in, throw that on the hot pan and just let it kind of activates it a little bit. And then other than that, you just got to keep stirring, and you can't put too much cheese in at once, otherwise it'll clump up into like a cheese ball in the middle of your sauce.
Ooh,
so you just have to be patient and stir and stir.
So since it only takes like 20 to 30 minutes, it's something that you could run home and make on lunch.
Yeah,
I'll be happy to do that.
We're starving, Jim. Literally. I
hungry.
think everybody that has said in this show today is hungry.
How much? One last question on that. How much pasta did you use? How much pasta was in the final product there?
2 servings. I used like a little less than a whole box of pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
They
it's
were
a-
healthy servings. It was. I didn't eat anything all day until that. That was my dinner on Sunday night. Watched the end of some of the football games. Actually, you know what I did is we watched the end of a football game and then the 60 Minutes interview with Prince Harry.
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah.
I ate that.
In
Yeah.
20 minutes, he was done.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, literally about 30 minutes with the zucchini, but 30 minutes start to finish. Pasta
My
itself,
kind of
20
meals.
minutes.
Love
20
that.
minutes. Yeah.
Well, it looked delicious. Everything we talked about sounded amazing today, from the diner to the Lean Nation to the Cacio de Pepe, or however you say it. But